All right, so good. Let's take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. All right, breaking news, you guys, because we have breaking news today. That's the kind of news. That's what is new. We call it breaking.
Yes.
It's news that breaks.
Right.
Comes in hot and heavy.
Does something.
Vic, you were telling me as we were getting ready to launch today, it was the breaking news.
Right.
Kim Kardashian filing for divorce. Tell me what you let's see what's up with that.
No, well, I mean,
I'm gonna see what I can find.
Right. Well, right. It's such a media story that we're going to flush out on the details, and I'm not sure what it is, but I know that they were, they were talking about it in such a way that the confirmation was through Ryan Seacrest, that he reported to TMZ that Kim is going to file.
Blog Talk Radio.
Bye, Blog Talk.
Bye, Blog Talk.
We're on a time limit. Happy Halloween.
We only have free account.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
The free ones.
Okay. But, he was confirming that basically Kim is going this morning. I mean, that shows you how immediate this is, and that she's filing for divorce. Now, we're probably not going to get any quotables on this because it's kind of early, but they did show stories where, paparazzi or whomever, the fellowship following Kim and Chris, and you could tell that they were what they would call engaging in what they call that eyeball contact. Mario, you know how when your woman eyeballs you, sitting in a wonderful car, and she's not blinking and giving you the stare like the Death Star look, right?
Wow.
So when you
that's what I say. Well, they got some differences. She's 5 years older than him.
And
I just think that, supposedly, one of the issues is that she's all about making money and being businesslike and all that.
Right.
And he's kind of like, I guess, the way they're describing it.
Young-minded.
He's just like sitting around playing.
Yeah, well, remember now.
He's young. That's why I brought up the age difference, because he's young.
Right. And the file is going to be irreconcilable differences. And there was a prenup drawn up. So she covered CYA.
Yeah.
So the whole part of this, and we had an earlier show back a few months ago, as a matter of fact, and I asked the question, how long before it's over?
Why are you trying to be a hater, man? That's because we saw her out one night and she was looking at Victor, man. She didn't look at me like that.
With my wig on.
We saw Kim Kardashian out late one night. Asked Danielle Holland. She was there.
I don't care. I don't think
she was looking at Vic. She looked right past my ass.
And then looked at my pockets and said,
she looked at Vic and she was like, damn.
She said, he ain't got no money.
I was like, damn, dude.
That's what happened.
I just want a cousin.
That's all the women. When my friends come over. I
can't afford no Kardashians.
Mario, now you know what we do here. I'm show you how I'm out folks without outing them. They come over here and celebrate such a wonderful thing. They said, man, look at this, property and the studio and everything. And then soon as a woman finds what she calls, I need to focus on what I think you can do for me, the first thing they tell you is what? You know what? You need this. And
I start out telling them what I ain't paying. I'm not buying. I'm not paying for no school. Nothing.
Wait.
I don't have anything. I don't have nothing. Leave me alone. Nothing. Go away.
That's all I'm saying is that I find
broke.
You know what? They're not criticizing. What they're saying is, you need to have this. I said, so what you do, you're seeing the vision of where they want you to be. So you know what I'm talking about.
You know what? One of the wonderful things about getting older, one of the most wonderful things, is that you finally have your libido in check enough to use better judgment. Right. Now you could actually pass on stuff.
Right.
As an older dude, you could see. At least I can look at him and say, well, at least I did somebody look like you in the past. I can go on memories. But we get to use better judgment when you get older. Ask Mac. You look now, see, it's hard when you're 35.
You're not helping the young
I'm
crew.
just telling you.
You know what?
When you're 25, you know they're dangerous, but you got to have it anyway.
You know what?
At 55, you know how to say, I'll pass.
You know something? First of all, the people you're talking to, the young folks who are really like, I'm having fun right now. You guys are talking about.
Y'all get social diseases. You know you got HPV.
And wait a minute. They're going like you guys didn't have these concerns, but what did you do?
I made it to 55 herpes free. Herpes free. Thank goodness. I made it. Slow,
Right.
carefully, Vic.
We
Barely,
had,
Vic.
we had a trivia. Maybe we'll introduce this as a segment. We had a
Name
trivia
your
the other
venereal
day.
disease.
We were talking about this subject, Mario, and we said, and a friend of ours, not a long lost, he just came to revisit us, Cortez Douglas. What's up, man? He came by, and we were talking about exactly this kind of subject. And we were talking about, Mario was bragging about, I don't have no kids. I ain't got to worry about anything. I said, but what about that one woman who says, I just need you to do what you do and then go away, and I don't have to tell you about your children.
I had them too.
No. But they don't come back and tell you.
No. Well, you mean, yeah, maybe, I still think if I had some children, somebody would have came and asked me for something by now.
It's not time yet. They're waiting till you get over 60.
I'm 50. They wait till I'm over what?
They do.
They wait till the IRS is out of my life?
They're waiting. See, Tommy's, excuse me, a B.
How many of y'all out there get to bring home the whole check?
Somebody.
No alimony. No child support.
Somebody's going like
so
this.
So, as a man, when you get about a bunch of men
right.
and you go, I get the whole check. All the men say, damn, he get the whole check.
You know what?
You get the whole check and your tax return,
It's not lasting
you
long.
Get the whole check.
The long-term one.
Because men don't get the whole check no more.
Right. See, the one thing that he's doing really well with, and we'll call this segment, the relationships you don't know about.
You don't know about them now because they're all going to come forward as we get famous. Just like Mac McAllister. We know the women he slept with, they're going to come forward.
Oh.
I know they're going to come, Mac. Watch out, Mac. I know, Mac. I got your back.
Right.
I won't publish shit.
Right.
We'll ignore him, Mac. We'll ignore him.
See, the part, look, okay, we done gone all off track.
I know y'all got me.
This subject is, it's Kim Kardashian. Let me just say this. Let me take it to the next.
Okay, it's about faithful women.
Right. Well, now, let me say this. Okay. Let me ask you this. Kim is now getting divorced after 72 days. That's really kind of a record right now. Close to one in the hierarchy.
How many times he hit it? How many times he hit it in the 72 days? Anybody get some bets? Can I get some bets? How many times do you think he hit it in the 72 days? Because he's going to pay. Then we'll be able to calculate how much he paid. Then we'll get the average number of strokes per encounter.
Right.
And we'll be able to tell you what he paid per stroke.
Right. See, I'm not reducing this down. We're trying to say this. Now, Mario, watch this. Who do we feel is really going to be the victim between Kim and Chris? Because usually when it flushes out, the public likes to side with what they believe. And Chris is not what they call a vocal person.
No.
Nor does he gets interviewed or whatever and doesn't have anything behind him.
He just got P-whip, man.
Are you sure?
There's some P-whip in there somewhere.
Now,
y'all know what we mean by P-whip?
okay. No.
Okay.
No.
Ask your daddies.
Okay. All right. That's the Kim Kardashian.
Okay, that's that story.
When the last exiting on Mario, will she get married again?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Like Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Okay.
How many times did Liz Taylor get married?
How many times do you think she will get married in her married lifetime?
I don't know. She'll get married twice as much as PMC. You guys, see, that's what you get for being in the chat room.
Wait a minute. PMC,
So,
PMC said first marriage. PMC, how many marriages?
He's been paying. PMC, see, that's what I'm saying. We got brothers testify. They go like, I haven't seen the whole check. I haven't seen the whole check so long, Mario. I don't know what whole check means. I haven't seen. I've been paying so long.
Wait a minute, Mark.
I lost count. It's not even a concept.
Wait a minute. Okay.
I just stand there with my pockets open.
Okay. See, we going down this subject. What I'm trying to say is it better, Mario, to at least try to enjoy marriage, the experience at least once, or better to say that you haven't done it?
And see, here's the thing. Now that I'm older, 55, and never been married, all my friends telling me, man, you a smart man.
Yeah, but they're telling you from a biased point of view.
They are telling me. And
they're telling me. They're the guys all in the. Hey, you guys remember when you sit back and used to have friends way up in the woods that never come outside, and they all go have a party around some beaver dam development? That's Mario and his friends.
If I was married, we would be no internet television. That's the problem. Y'all know damn well. See, Mac. PMC know damn well they going. If Mario was married, he wouldn't be doing none of this shit. He wouldn't have no studio. Right. His old lady would say, you are not messing up this house with that mess.
All
You know,
right.
I had lighting equipment in my living room for a year and a half.
Right.
People thought I did porno.
That's right. They did. They did think it. Well, but hey, but look, you're supposed to celebrate, and really, what we're saying is this: Kim has had success because she at least tried it once. You still didn't answer the question.
I'm celebrating all the brothers that have hung in there.
See, he's avoiding the question.
Did not run. I'm celebrating all the ones that's fathers, single fathers who putting up with them badass baby
At
mamas.
least
'Cause
one
that's my
time.
perspective.
One
I know
time.
a lot of men put up with a lot of shit. Go to work, pay the bills, send that money over to that bitch.
Wait a minute. What about
I'm
the
sorry.
happy experience?
I'm just saying.
How about the men
just
that tell
saying.
you I'm having a wonderful
So
marriage?
I'm just saying, for the men out there who don't ever get anybody to sing their song, who go to work every week and send that money over to that bitch. I'm sorry.
You see,
I'm sorry.
You see what side of fence this man is
Okay,
on.
I'm just telling y'all.
He's been
and I know because
scorned.
I did not marry her. Y'all
Abused.
married her. I said no to mine. I
He's
said
been
I bought.
bamboozled.
I bought to
Okay.
mine.
Okay.
That go for you can find them. They go like I almost married him. Damn it.
You know what?
I would have
I'm
been paying alimony. Lord, come on, let's go on.
I'm waiting for the first woman who's going to come on and say and have her husband next to her and say we're totally happy and the anti Mario campaign for the brothers
I'm just
sitting up
saying-
in the woods watching beavers build dams.
I had a woman live with me. I know what it is practicing saying nothing. When you know you want to say some shit. You know goddamn well you want to say something. But you got to go, you done bit a hole through your lip.
See, this is wrong.
All right. Let's acknowledge some other things because PMC, we want to send you some love because not only are you paying, but it's cold as shit out there. You are. Vic, have you heard about what's happening on
About
the
what?
East Coast? They have had a full winter storm.
Yes, I have. I followed.
Hit.
Yes.
I mean, people,
Yes.
and it's really hitting even the folks out there at Occupy Wall Street. But all over the East Coast, you guys, and some people still are out of power, and they're saying some communities will be out of power till Wednesday.
Well, let me say this.
Can you believe that?
I feel bad for him, so I'm not going to make light of this. I mean, it is
I
a
do.
storm.
I feel for them.
Yeah, I do feel for them, and they've had an extended outage. I guess it's gone on for what, a few days.
You know,
Couple
and
of
people,
days?
I'm telling you, when I went to school at Howard, we had snowstorms like this, and y'all don't know. See, a lot of y'all don't know what it's like to, first of all, go to the store on the bus.
Right.
Because in LA, you know, people just, and then go to the store on the bus in the snow. You know, in DC, I was through, you guys. I was just
Right.
through. I was just through. It was killing me. You know, I went to the store with some of my buddies, man, and I had bought a little extra shit. And so, like, one of my buddies, he had to carry like a 6-pack or something of mine. He was talking so much shit. I said, don't be borrowing nothing.
Right.
You know, because it's different here on the West Coast. People don't realize in many states how much of a... It just gets in the way to have all that snow. You can't do stuff all day.
I know.
You don't even want to go out.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I mean, you know, look, I'm saying that I'm not going to make light of this because there's some people who are really going through this. This is not a... Believe me.
Yes, but I'm saying you will freeze too.
Right. I'm not making light of this at all because on one hand you could say, "Oh, look at us, we're over here," but I, had a friend who's, they're taking off going to the East Coast back to New York, and I said, I know it's going to be rough there, and cold is not no joke.
Oh no,
It's not a joke.
Get you one. I'm telling you, I know.
Yeah,
I know. But everybody else who's been there. Well, anyway, so we know we're sending you love out there. Hopefully, the snowstorm will pass. Wow, I don't know what kind of, and especially for our friends out there for Occupy Wall Street. We're going to get to that in just a minute, Vic, because we got to talk a little bit now. But let's get to this other story before we get to those. Let's get to the story that you had mentioned earlier about the fact that YouTube is launching 100 new video channels with a bunch of new partners. Now, remember, YouTube owned by Google. This is a whole joint venture with some 100 new people, including Madonna, to the Wall Street Journal. You know, we had this idea back years ago when I built over 300 channels for people like this, and then called them up, sent a mail, and tried to give them the channels just to get.
Right.
Just to get. Is that the truth, Vic?
Yeah.
About 300 of them.
Yeah.
We built them channels and sent them notices just to get attention. And man, mostly what we got was a lot of anger.
Well, and you know what? Isn't the channel just another form of branding, advertising, PR, promoting? No different than a flyer. It's just interactive, live, and it's on the internet. So it's really a face of you having to be able to accept there are other ways to promote, brand, and market yourself, your content, your product.
Well, right, exactly. In fact, what Vic and I were saying is for those of you who wanted proof that the money's headed this way, well, YouTube's putting out $100 million, okay, for this project. 100 new channels and also $100 million to producers. This is all. Take a look at it, you guys. It's out there on the web. USA Today, other people carrying the story. Google owns them, and they got people like Madonna, Shaquille O'Neal, Deepak Chopra. A bunch of people, you guys, are going to be having their own channels. This is what we were talking about. These will be your mega niche channels. Victor and I had a term that we were using back then, micro niche.
Right.
Which meant channels that folk are on a teeny niche.
Yeah, in other words,
maybe
small.
you.
Small, really small.
Micro. Little small. That's right.
Right.
You want how small?
See, that's what
smaller than flea nuts.
Hey, look, all we're saying is this. If you see this, and no matter how much we say it, there are going to be people who's going to go like this. You'll never convince to approach web activity or interactive PR branding, video content displays, profiling yourself. There's just some people who will not get on board. I'm not worried about that. We're just saying, if you plan to be somewhat competitive in what you're delivering, service or art, whatever, you're going to run into a problem because your competition is going to be activating all these applications and this approach to do what they call, it's almost like you're a walking commercial product, not just a go to my website or wait till I send you an e-blast or whatever. Whatever you do is going to be competitive across this landscape.
That's
because
right.
To me, when you give this group that's right up the hill from us, and when we say a few miles up, and they're good at doing this niche development stuff.
Well, hopefully they haven't offered us any money yet. They say the advances are going as high as $5 million per channel.
That's right.
So you guys,
develop.
remember we told you the trend, though.
Nobody
See, remember that. We
don't
told
hear
you
me?
the trend. You don't need to wait for them. And plus, you need to practice your channel. I mean, we're practicing. Look at me.
It's as good as it gets.
That's
right.
right.
Here,
We're practicing our channel.
and it's really hard.
You can practice your channel. You might get $5 million. But remember, we just bring it out because some of our associates, our friends, go, "Now, why are you doing this? Are you guys making any money?"
Right.
You know, and it's funny why. No offense. Here we go again. How come all certain ex-girlfriends of mine are always the ones to be asking you about whether that you make? Why do you care?
Right.
Whether
Why?
I'm making any? You will not be getting none.
Well, you know why? I can tell you why. I can tell you right off the hand.
Mario, you making money at that? Why do you care? What's it to you?
Because they're going like, what you do costs time, and that time may impact what I do with you, my brother.
That's why I'm single. See, I'm good. I get to remind them, I'm not your man. I'm just the person who buys you dinner every now and then. That's it. I'm not your man. So I don't have to do. But so you guys, YouTube, 100 new channels, up to 5 million per channel. Go check it out because this is the proof for you guys, okay? See what you can get, for your channels. I mean, at least something we got to look at, okay? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how about this one, you guys? I know. Because, we go good news, bad news, other shit. Fox is bringing back In Living Color.
What is that?
Are you really?
What is that? What does that mean? I mean, I like
I don't
it.
know.
I like it, but wait a minute. You tell me.
All right. Because, that's going to bring back controversy. Because I have been critical of In Living Color.
I know that.
But then again, now that I do this, I'm well open for criticism my damn self.
How can you holler at the
it's
people?
The truth. It's the truth.
What are we doing?
Okay, well, anyway, for whatever your opinions are, and I would be curious to see what PMC and Max say in the chat room. Fox has announced it will revive In Living Color. Okay, it's going to be produced by Keenan Ivory Wayans. Okay, it's only do a certain number of episodes. Okay,
Beta test.
It's going to air as 2 half-hour specials in the spring.
Okay,
okay, 2 half-an-hour specials in the spring. In Living Color.
Okay. How do you feel about it? Yes or no? Good.
I
or
thought
bad?
it was funny.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, because you become somewhat critical. Let me tilt my hat so I can get my roll on.
Oh Lord. Okay.
All right.
Y'all gonna.
Let me say this.
I'm gonna focus on y'all in a minute.
How much was you basically like in that wonderful black exploitation mode of those films back in the day with the Mac and all of them? Did you find yourself rushing over to see those wonderful movies back then, Mario?
Yes, because as you're older, you get
No, we ain't
critical.
talking about age. First
Now,
of all,
when I was young, I
you
enjoyed
were
all
part-
the X,
you were
all the
part
dirt,
of-
Fritz the cat,
You were the fan.
everything nasty. I wanted everything dirty, every sex.
Wait.
I wanted every free to love. I wanted everything.
So as a producer who says
Now I'm older
I
and
have to
I'm
get
conservative.
tickets. I have to get tickets. I have to sell to a market that can't wait to see this. Younger markets are not as critical as you.
That's true.
Okay.
We came up in the time of free love. Y'all remember that? Back when VD was still cured with penicillin. It was a wonderful time. You could just get a shot.
Yeah.
Just go out hoeing all over the place. Just sowing seeds
Yeah.
back then. But not now. Now it's a sad day. Repercussions. All I know.
Well, I'm just saying this. I will always. I haven't found the line where you turn around and say, "Okay, not that. I'm sorry." When I realize that when you first have to look at your age, you're biased. You have to remove yourself from it. Because if somebody said, you know what, I like this show, Mario, that you're doing. Matter of fact, our numbers show that the market between 15 and 19 loves it. And it's a lot of sponsors who want to get involved
I'm
in
actually
campaigning
surprised
this.
at our stats, you guys. We had as many. What shocked us, I think we had as many 18 to 26 or something as we
That's
did
right.
55 to 6.
Right.
In other words, it kind of was skewed. Our peak is still in the 35 to 45 group.
Right.
But we had a fair amount of folks in in the young group, and they almost equaled the amount in the old group. So okay, so who knows? All right.
All right. So that's an endorsement of living color.
That is. Okay, so I'm still going now, you guys. Got to give you update on Occupy Wall Street because people think this is something that's going to go away.
Right.
When you have worldwide movements like this, it really signals the time has come. Whether it shifts from this to something else, you know the time has come. People are stepping out worldwide. You cannot ignore it. It's not just a fad that people all over the damn world. I mean, in places that even speak the same language.
Right.
Are
I
busting
got you.
out with the same things. It has to mean something.
Right, I agree. I think it like you said, it has a life force of its own. You can't explain it. I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback it. You don't do that because it has a life of its own. Well, you're hoping, and I know you're hoping this, Mario, that it sustains and keeps moving, don't you?
Well, I'm hoping. Well,
effectively.
Yeah, because you notice why I pause, and PMC knows why I pause. First of all, it's still just a movement. It's an occurrence because of the times of the people.
Right.
So therefore, it's not something that's controlled in a logical fashion.
That's my point.
We keep stressing that, but it still is a signal of people worldwide developing a level of consciousness.
Right.
That's the part that I like. The idea of a level of consciousness. In other words, like minds, people starting to think about issues in like ways. Those kind of things are good. The world is smaller today than it was when we were kids. You know, it used to be certain places. I'm in L.A., damn near Pasadena sounded like the other side of the moon.
It's smaller because there's now 7 billion people on the planet?
It's smaller because the technology's made it so that we share our experiences.
Right.
I mean, here, the fact that every week I'm talking and dealing with people, PMC in Pittsburgh, Mac in Port Townsend, that we regularly do this.
Right.
That's a sign of the time. And so, to me, that's the part that I am hopeful. I'm always hopeful for things that move the world forward to a better place, a more human, a more kind, loving place, even though the practice, for all intents and purposes, people corrupt things. And that's just the nature of humanity.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'll be corrupted like a lot of things. But how about some videos, you guys? First of all, you guys in Oakland...
You mean videos of people being arrested? Occupiers. The occupied force.
The occupiers.
The occupiers.
Being arrested.
Right. So remember, you guys,
Take a look.
Mario already had a question. How would you feel if
they was
being
pissing on
occupied?
your lawn?
Yes.
I would just go out there and rent a porta potty for them. You know, if y'all, because I would go outside and say, okay, I don't really want you pissing on my lawn.
See.
But I'm going to get the porta potty.
Right.
And I'm going to have the porta potty there.
Right.
I'll go on and chip in. I ask Mac and them, for donations. And we'll pay for a porta potty. Because, if they come and start pissing on the dock. Right. See, PMC with all that natural beauty of his place. Right. It's cool till they start pissing on your grass.
Right. Well, wait a minute. Mario.
But let's see what happens. I'm not making fun because I do support these movements. Go on, Vic.
Well, I'm just saying, why you show this? Say if all of a sudden somebody gets an invitation comes from a group who says, you know what, we've watched how you stand behind the intelligence of what's going on with Occupy Wall Street. We want you to be an occupier on the front with us.
I tell them I can't sleep in the tent. I had trouble with the reggae festival. I used them porta potties. I went to the reggae festival. The toileting might keep me from ever going back. Y'all ever been to a festival?
This is wrong.
I'm just telling you, them porta potties, I ain't never seen so much shit in my life. All together, different colors. It was so gross. If you go to a porta potty, you cannot look down. You cannot look down in the porta potty. How many have gone into a porta potty and looked down?
How about
your mind is still scarred right now from going into the porta potty and looking down. Goddamn well. Now when you go in, you tell yourself, "Don't look down."
What about the sound that when somebody's in the porta potty and you hear
I go to the next line.
And splash, and something happened.
Man, I was at the reggae festival. They was cleaning porta potties 3 times a day. I still ain't never seen shit like that. Anyway, so that's why I got much love for Occupy Wall Street people, because I need a bath, a shower, my own toilet, and a way to just bathe. I can't help it. I'm not rough no more. I don't know if y'all can rough it. I don't even need to sleep. I don't want a sleeping bag, none of that shit. I want a bed.
Have you been in one when it's like 110 degrees?
Been in what?
Porta potties.
Oh, no. No, I try to stay. I told you.
Heat rises.
Ooh,
dude, that's all I can tell you. It rises, man.
Okay, steamy doo-doo.
All right, go ahead, man.
Here we go.
I think everyone should see a few moments from the police crackdown of the Occupy Oakland demonstration. The police say that they cleared the demonstrators using non-lethal force, but a tear gas canister can be lethal if it hits you in the face. It's hard to see from this video exactly how this demonstrator was wounded, but if you doubt that the police were deliberately aiming at the protesters, watch this policeman when a group of protesters attempt to come to the aid of the injured person.
Ooh.
Watch that again.
Jeez. See, I haven't seen this stuff. Gee, I like to watch it with you guys. Oh, man. Remember Kent State?
What happened? What happened? You got hit. You got shot. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Shit.
Man, you guys. You know what you guys remember? I told you I purposely try to gather stuff and not watch it.
Right.
So that I can watch it with you guys. And,
yeah.
Man, okay.
Okay, but we know this goes on. In other words,
oh yeah, well I'm a child of the '60s. First of all, I can tell you I have looked down the barrel of a shotgun with a policeman calling me nigger.
Yeah.
Okay, and daring me to move.
Yeah.
Daring me, saying and he told me I want to blow your motherfucking head off. That's what he said to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, remember now.
All right, with a shotgun in my face, and I was like 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So if you've never, I must tell everybody, if you've never had a shotgun in your face with a very angry person on the other end of it, you haven't lived.
Yeah.
You have not lived, because in that moment, you recognize the value of life right there in that moment.
Yeah, you don't. And the part about this is, no matter how much, this is one of those things where this is an opportunity to disrupt. I mean, I'm not trying to say this is it or not. It's like football. You train your linebackers to attack and kill. And then they try to implement oversight to say, since you were in high school and junior high, since you were in college, since you've been in 5 or 10 years in the league, we need a kinder punishment for the receivers and the quarterback. Policemen are trained a certain way, dude. You know, I'm just, the part is when do you turn the off button off? I don't know how often the off button is turned off. I just think that they find ways. You always have somebody that finds a way to say, I need to disrupt this and make them scatter. I'm not coming to rescue that person.
That's what we're coming to. See, this is where what happens with this is that you often have one opinion, right?
Right.
And then they force you.
Yep.
In other words, this is what happened in the civil rights movement. There are a lot of white folks that did not want to be involved.
Right.
But once you keep showing them using hoses on the black folks,
it just
see certain things makes people cross the line. You say you finally slam down your pen and say, I can't take it no more.
Right.
I'm getting involved.
Right.
I cannot take it anymore. I cannot watch you whipping these people's ass.
Right.
But so long before I feel like I start looking toward God and saying, am I supposed to just sit here and do nothing?
We had an experience over the weekend to show you that it's not always what it appears to be. We had a wonderful friend over here who actually is in law enforcement, and you can definitely tell she's on the side of serving.
Oh, yes, she sure is.
She is on the side of serving.
We got to say that, you guys. We know some wonderful...
Yes.
I got some friends out here, Bobby Carson.
Right.
Annie Lunsford.
Annie is the one who...
Wonderful. These are wonderful people who serve peace officers.
Yes.
They really are peace officers.
They love going out.
They care about people. So that's why we have this. We know some really good...
Right.
People in law. And it's funny, I have a bunch of family in law enforcement in New York. A whole bunch of family. Oh, yeah.
You ever have hair in your coffee? Kind of tingly.
Yeah, I know coffee. No. What you mean? Okay, you guys, take a look at this next video. This one, as we think about this, as you think about that cold.
Now, the anti-corporate Occupy Wall Street movement's organising a general strike next week in response to another row over police brutality. During a rally in Oakland, California, an Iraq War veteran was badly injured when police cracked down on thousands of activists there. RT's Lucy Kafanoff has the latest on the protests that have been growing over the past 5 weeks.
Well, I'm here in Zuccotti Park. Liberty Plaza has been dubbed by the Occupy Wall Street movement here the scene of a tense standoff between city officials and protesters early on Friday morning. More than 20 uniformed police officers and fire department officials entered the encampment and demanded that the protesters turn over anything that may be considered a fire hazard, citing safety concerns. In the end, approximately 6 power generators, were seized by the police, and several dozen canisters of fuel, including vegetable oil for cooking. Now, preventing fires is, of course, a very reasonable concern when you're dealing with a densely packed tent city such as what Occupy Wall Street, Zuccotti Park has become. But at the same time, a lot of people here feel that this is also a convenient way for the city to essentially crack down on a movement in a sort of backhanded manner as temperatures continue to plummet into freezing degrees. In fact, the first snowfall is expected here in Zuccotti Park over the weekend. So a lot of protesters feel that this is perhaps some sort of way for the city to freeze them out, to try to dampen their resolve to remain here. Now, downtown New York, Zuccotti Park was, of course, the scene of the original Occupy Wall Street demonstration, which started on September 17th. Since then, it's inspired similar movements all across the country and the world, in fact, from Tokyo to Toronto, as protesters continue to turn out into the streets, protesting against economic inequality and what they say is corporate greed. Now, one of the chants that you frequently hear here in the United States is "we are the 99%," a reference to the 99% of Americans who are not in the same sort of economic beneficiary condition as the top 1% earners. Now, this is a reference, in fact, to one of the recent economic reports that came out here in the U.S., citing that the top 1% of earners in the United States, once adjusted for inflation and post-taxes, actually saw their earnings soar by an astounding 275%.
Many
from
quadruple.
1979 to 2007, sort of further perpetrating this economic inequality and social inequality that a lot of people are simply fed up with here in the United States.
Lucy Caff.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Got to thank Russia Television again, you guys. RT.com. Remember, we always tell you our sources. RT.com. Thanks to Hamza Muhammad, my buddy on Facebook, my buddy from Howard. He's turned me on to some other resources. You'll hear me mention them in the future. He just turned me on to a resource from France.
Right.
So we're going to be looking at some French broadcasts and getting foreign perspectives.
Right.
About some of the things that we're reading, because it's so different than what we're seeing here.
True. So true. Well, I mean, hey, look, it's the news, right? It's news.
Well, that's the thing now, because we talked about the snowstorm, you guys, and that's the thing. And we wanted to take a moment to send a lot of love and support. We don't want you hurt. People have mixed feelings, and that's cool. We're not supposed to all feel the same about this stuff, you guys. And I think that's part of the whole thing, that everybody's going to have mixed feelings about what it all means, and also shifting feelings, right? True. As you watch different things. I just think that that's part of it. PMC says he just doesn't want to see police breaking heads.
Well, I agree.
And Mac is talking about the flashpoint. All of us who are older remember what happened before, what we went through before.
Right.
But even now, as we brace for the cold, just want to send at least a moment of support out to them. I wish I was rich. I would send them all some space age suits that you could wear in the winter. Those space age down the, those little Parker things you could put on. And I wish I could have a truck roll up and pass out 500, 500 snow suits.
I know what you want. You want to support them. That's cool.
Moved into the camp of the Occupy Wall Street protesters, arresting those who refused to leave. It comes just hours after a massive standoff that saw pepper spray and tear gas fired into the crowd. And in this footage, we can see police dispersing the crowd of activists. Meanwhile, in the states of Tennessee and California, more than 50 people were arrested when squads swept through their camps, removing tents, tables, and other belongings. The movement has already been tested by snowstorms in Colorado, with harsh conditions expected to hit America's East Coast. Protesters in New York are getting ready to withstand blizzards after local authorities stripped them of their power supplies. But as Gary Chichikan reports, neither arrests nor the upcoming winter are likely to shake their determination.
The peaceful nationwide movement that turned violent overnight in Oakland. Police attacked protesters with tear gas, stun grenades, flash bombs, and rubber bullets.
We'd been there for weeks. We had been taking care of ourselves. There had been no incidents with the police, and they came in one of the most terrifying shows of force that I've ever seen in my entire life. And they came in, and they either flushed everyone out of the camp or arrested them, and then they began to systematically trample all of the tents, cut them apart, and this made people really, really angry.
A former U.S. Marine and Iraq War veteran was seriously injured by a tear gas canister that police fired at him. Footage of the wounded veteran and police brutality spread quickly, the shock of it galvanizing the nation and the Occupy movement across the country. Google says the company received requests from local law enforcement agencies to remove YouTube videos of police brutality. They did not comply.
The stronger the forcible response by the establishment, the stronger the movement will get, the larger the protest will become.
The protesters, through these past 6 weeks, have been careful not to taint the movement's reputation with violence.
By and large, most reports suggest that this movement has been almost entirely peaceful.
But some in the U.S. media used the night of violence in Oakland to portray the protesters as radicals.
And more violence from the occupiers. A lot of these people are professional agitators. A good number of these people are radicals, no doubt about it.
You might ask, how radical was this elderly woman in a wheelchair who was tear-gassed by police?
Wow.
Or Jasper, father of two, who's working on his PhD at the University of California, Berkeley.
They characterize, the perspective of the movement as marginal and radical and fringe in order to discredit it.
This movement really is about all Americans. It's not just about people that have historically been poor. This is about now, too, the middle class that is starting to feel the impact of corporate greed that has run this country for so long.
As the movement grows bigger and more structured, it's becoming harder to ignore the message of the campaigners who call themselves the 99%, and protest against corporate crime and government complicity.
Protesters' tents mushroomed throughout the country. There will be more.
Wow.
The movement is only expanding. Several weeks ago,
I
police
can't live in
cracked
a
down on
tent.
protesters
I can't
with
do that, you guys.
pepper
I
spray.
can do it.
My
This
back
week,
just gets.
it was
I
tear
turn into a
gas and
pretzel.
stun grenades. Protesters now want to hit big business where it hurts. A general strike next week demanding banks and corporations shut down for a day. But will the police response be an even more brutal crackdown? I'm Ganesh Chekan reporting from Washington. RT.
Well, you know, if we judge it by what's occurred previously, we know what's going to happen. It's going to escalate.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have more and more confrontations because there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm 55 years old. I remember my parents pulled me to the TV to watch the civil rights movement incidents, okay?
Right.
And there's nothing like what this is unprecedented, you guys, to have worldwide occurrences like we're seeing now. So we just got to deal with it.
Well, and here's the other part so you guys understand. To me, you have to be very careful of listening to the spokesman or the broadcast employees of a major organization. They have a deep financial, committed, contractual obligation to best support not just their voice. You can come in all day long and be on CNN, or you can be on Fox, or you can be on MSNBC. But they have a relationship to make sure that they covet what's more in favor of their viewership. If you actually sit there and say, well, the CNN viewership basically is over 45 to 65 years of age, and that group is conservative, and I'm talking to you as a 45, 50-year-old broadcast journalist, I already know that I am part of what they call the establishment. So I'm going to perpetrate what's in the best interest of the company I represent. And I never sit there and look at anyone who's a spokesperson on the channel and separate them as their own empire. I say you are contractually obligated to that company.
To tell the story that you're being told to tell.
That's right.
Well, you guys, we're going to continue this more tomorrow. And we still got one more piece that I want to show you from Mac McAllister. But first, let me tell you, there's a story we're going to be covering tomorrow. It's about Christopher Lyles. It was sent to me by an old friend of mine from high school, Lori Cooper. It's about her young cousin who's battling a very rare form of cancer. And his treatment is going to be a special stem cell tracheal transplant. It's only done in Sweden. He'll be the second person.
Wow.
The second person in the world to have this procedure. So we're going to show this piece tomorrow about Chris, and you get to see him and see what's going on. It's a part of an effort to raise money for the transplant, and we so much love to be part of the community resource for these types of things. So tune in tomorrow, and we'll be showing you the story of Christopher Lyles.
Cool, I like that, man.
And his struggle to get this special treatment,
right?
Only available in Sweden. He'll be the number 2.
Notice that we're doing what we call great stories that relate with Halloween.
I just think wearing this bullshit should be enough.
See, here we.
I mean, look at
Halloween.
me. I look like an idiot.
What we're doing.
I look like an idiot. I got a pair of lips on my head.
Hey, look, Halloween.
It looks kind of sexy though, huh?
What happened to the cheer, candy, gifts?
I tried to find Halloween videos.
No inspirational stories. Just got to talk about.
Okay, well, first of all, you guys. First of all, let's go. Follow me. Everybody follow me.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to go to Online with Mac. Everybody, Online with Mac.
Wait a minute.
Because y'all going to maybe give you happy time.
Oh, wait a minute.
You know you don't want that happy time.
What happened to your Occupy costume?
Man, it's on the way. It's on the way, man. Why do you want to bring that up? I had a bad experience in my last costume.
First of all, you know what you're supposed to have? You're supposed to have a shirt on that has dollar signs like Ghostbuster and a corporate thing, and you kill
all right,
corporate.
so that's why. So let me tell you, we're going to use Mac McAllister to cheer us up. We actually have a couple of videos to show by Mac, so we'll show one tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to show the Mac McAllister Journal featuring the former bank CEO that was captured by the secret squadron. So that'll be part of tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, but today we're going to show you Mac's happy birthday wish to Bootsy Collins, everybody. Yabba dabba doo, baby baba.
Flintstones and Bootsy
Wind
Collins.
me up.
I got that. GNN, only you.
Wind me up. Wind me up, baby baba.
That's it, man. Only you.
Happy birthday, Bootsy Collins from Mac McAllister, everybody.
There we go.
Yeah. Worth a flag.
Yeah.
It's worth a flag.
Yeah, somebody's going to get flagged.
What I like about it is that we only have to cut it off of the YouTube piece thing. See, that's what's so cool about it.
It's cool here.
Yeah. We can put it, keep it in our broadcast.
Right. I like that, man. I like that, man. You the man, Mac. I mean, I could just,
He's doing all of that, And by the way, everybody, Mac McAllister is available to produce commercials for you. He has produced many for us. They were quite expensive, but he's worth every bit of it.
All right, if you say so. See,
he's worth every bit of it.
He's going to a.
I know, Mac. I'm just telling people.
He's setting
they
him up.
know because they're gonna hire him.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's worth every bit of it.
I thought he was going to set you up, Mac, and give. What
I'm taking my cues from Mac. Mac sends me cues. I repeat what he tells everybody. That's the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. That's right. Tune in tomorrow. There'll be more. We have Suzette Tomlinson. The good news, the bad news, and the other.
There you go. All right, man.